I'm Chris. Welcome to the very first live episode of OCD Geeks.
And I'm Jack. Hi guys, welcome to this new format.
So, for those of you who are new to our channel, a huge welcome. We are the OCD Geeks as well as AkiGeeks podcast, Twitch and YouTube channels.
Yeah, right now we spread quite a lot, right, Chris?
Yeah, we've been a long way. So basically, if you are a first-time listener, we started our projects around 1 year ago, or even more.
Even more, Chris, right? More than one year ago, we were completely without expertise in this new world for us, and it was day after day new experience.
Yes, so basically, the goal with OCD Geeks, as you can tell by the name, was basically to bridge the gap between geeky pop culture and mental health.
Yeah, actually, guys, on OCD Geeks, we try to get to a point with our passions, such as, for example, TV series, movies, language learning. We try to cover a lot of topics, but basically share, a simple conversation between me and Chris, who are very close friends since a very long time.
Yeah, and don't forget, for example, music and language learning.
Yes, of course. Me and Chris are really fond of folk and basically rock music, pop, everything.
Yeah, I would say there is good music everywhere.
Yeah, as you can see, guys, also from the guitar behind Chris.
Yeah, that's the acoustic one, but I also have a new electric guitar, so maybe next time I might show that one.
I might even think about showing mine. I have an ukulele and my electric guitar on the left right now. You cannot see from the camera, but they are in my room.
Yeah, so if you are watching live, so you are welcome to say hello or hi in the chat on Twitch. But, for all of you that cannot meet us live on Twitch, maybe because of your schedule or different time zone, you will still be able to find the recording of the episode on YouTube, as well as major podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast, and Deezer, for example.
Yeah, quite a lot of channels. And since we started, as we said, more than 1 year ago, we did actually a lot of episodes, mostly concerning OCD Geeks. But we also started to, open up our brand new channel, AkiGeeks.
Yeah, so basically, AkiGeeks was basically created with my passion for gaming that started way back when I was a kid. So that's why we decided to name our Twitch channel AkiGeeks as well. You can expect live recordings of OCD Geeks, as well as, for example, me playing, brand new games, as well as maybe all-time classics with my Xbox. So stay tuned for more contents.
As you know, guys, if you've been following us already, I'm not such a geek when it comes to gaming, but thanks to Chris, I had the chance to discover many titles and to see the reshaping of many old titles which I've been played, for example, when I was an adolescent, and Chris usually keep me updated with.
It's kinda the same in Jack's case with movies. An expert like Jack, so he's kinda my search of new information.
Yeah, because also in the movies, in the cinematographic world, there are many remakes in the last 2 decades. So if there is a hint of conversation, we can maybe discover, talk about one contemporary movie and relating that to an old one. So
yeah, so that's pretty much it. So both OCD Geeks as well as AkiGeeks are kinda the the place for all our passions and interests. But we want also to talk about a bit more serious topics related to mental health. So that's why the name OCD Geeks. And also, I would like to stress that both me and Jack are not mental health professional. So, in case you need one, I totally recommend you to contact a specialist in that field.
Yes, of course, we have only our experiences to share and our personal, journey in mental health.
Yeah, it's kind of talking as it was written, if you remember, on the website that actually we don't have anymore. Focusing on our passions is kind of a way to dismantle negative thoughts. So, in creating the OCD Geeks community, we hope you to entertain and you can think of us as your friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what we aim to do.
So, Jack, how do you feel about this first live episode?
As you know, Chris, I'm a quite anxious person, and yeah, I'm sensitive to any change. So even today, I feel a little bit, more stressed
Yeah,
than before, but at the same
uh,
time, comfortable.
yeah, I'm sure it will be lower even next time, just a little bit. Guys, that up until now we have done we recorded around, I don't know, almost 70 episodes if you combine OCD Geeks and AkiGeeks, but all of them were very heavy edited. So yes, that's right. It was really cool to publish a new episode, but we spent a lot of time in editing and kinda improving every single pose, every single detail. That kinda we lost a bit of the fun of the creating process itself.
That's right. We reached a point where we saw that it was actually much more entertaining to just let it go, let our conversation flow naturally as it could come, and we
Yeah,
decided to try this new change.
Yeah, and also, Jack, with the heavy editing, we were able to publish maybe once, maybe twice a month. So we hope with this new, let's say, with this new approach, we hope to create more contents on a constant base.
As you maybe you will know, guys, that suffering from OCD has also a component very important about obsessive behavior. So our part of obsessiveness was toward the editing of our episode.
Yeah,
That's
kinda to be perfectionist, but I would say at a even higher level. So, just let it go might be part of the process.
of the healing process, and that's what I wanted to say.
And it sounds more natural, like just a conversation between two friends.
That's right, Chris. But talking about today's new content, have you seen something that drew your attention recently?
So guys, as you've been following us for a bit, you know that we have a passion for Marvel, especially me, or just with Disney Plus in general. So I was happy to see a new series on Disney Plus that is called She-Hulk. That is kinda based on, Bruce Banner's cousin.
Yeah, I've not watched that yet, but I've seen Mark Ruffalo playing Hulk on the trailer.
Kinda Marvel's takes on the legal drama that it's kind of popular nowadays, and unlike Hulk, she's not used to transform into this let's say green creature. So it's kind of fun to see the origin of this new superhero.
Yeah, that Chris, when I watched the trailer, the first thing these two characters reminded me was of Shrek and Fiona.
Yeah, kinda like that, I guess.
But maybe this is already, something sacrilege to the Marvel fans out
Yeah,
there.
you know that if you remember the very first movies, of course, Bruce was not able to have full control while being Hulk. In the case of She-Hulk, she's fully rational, even though she's quite angry in order to transform. So even this one is quite a difference compared to Hulk.
Yeah, women are always better in maintaining control.
So, it's a more, I would say, light-hearted and comedy series compared to, for example, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that we've chatted about last time. That was quite dark and even scary sometimes.
That's right, Chris. That's right.
So, so I would say that it's kind of the perfect series to close up the summer while switching to the fall season of entertainment.
I cannot wait to reach the fall and winter season to see which products are coming out.
Yeah, and you were telling me also that you watched something, this time not on Disney Plus but on Netflix.
Yeah, Chris, I actually gave it a try to the new, let's say, horror thriller TV series called The Sandman, directed by Mike Barker, and of course, the screenplay was adapted by Neil Gaiman, who also wrote the comic strip back then. And I really liked the first episode, which is called The Sleep of the Just, and basically introduce to the viewers the character of Morpheus, which is the main protagonist of the story. Morpheus actually is captured, is kind of an eternal, let's say so, also known as Dream. So it basically resembles the words of Dream, and he's captured in a ritual by a British aristocrat, Burgess, who was attempting to capture one of his sister. That sister, I mean Morpheus' sister, which was Death. So every man could live immortally. This is basically the starting of the plot, but it develops in quite an unusual way further on. It really struck me because I tried to compare also the starting of the series with some of the beginning of the comic strip, for example, and I noticed a lot of pop and historical reference to the 1890 world back then on the comic strip, and many quotes from literature, which Chris, I'm very fond of, kind of like a work resembling Watchmen by Alan Moore, which maybe, as you know, it's one of my favorite masterpieces.
So unlike She-Hulk that I can recommend to everyone, this one is recommended only for an adult audience. So if you have young kids or teenagers, I'm not sure if it's the show right for their age.
Actually, Chris, the first episode didn't seem so violent to me, but as I can see, the comic strip was quite violent indeed. So, yeah, I mean, the content is quite violent, but I think Netflix went on easy on the adaptation. I recommend it to everyone because, Chris, I'm not into fantasy words a lot, but this product has many references to like a dystopian novel, for example, or historical facts, for example, the First World War. A lot of interest.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm looking forward to hear your opinion once you will have seen the full series.
And read the comic strip because I'm quite interested in reading given
Yeah.
this little difference between the two products.
Yeah, so sounds good. I haven't seen many, series recently, but we were talking before the beginning of the episode. I've played, a few new games, and as you know, the main title nowadays is a game called Multiversus that is available for major platforms. As for me, I've been playing on the Xbox. Multiversus is a platform fighter that takes place into the Warner Brothers universe. That's why it's called Multiversus.
Mhm.
So you can expect to find, old-time classic characters such as Tom and Jerry, or, the cast from Snoopy, or even the DC superheroes, for example, Superman, Wonder Woman, or even newer characters like Arya from the Game of Thrones.
Wow, a lot of different characters.
Yeah.
It seems like quite a big blending.
Yeah, what I like is that it is a free-to-play game, so you can try it completely for free. Of course, you can upgrade your experience with a battle pass, or also, buying cosmetics or stuff like that. I'm sure that, if you're a gamer, you are familiar with this format.
Sure, of course. Even a small gamer like me can recognize this
Yeah.
style.
So it's kinda, I would say, a live service game. So basically, you can expect new seasons coming in the future. So currently, we are in season 1, so the very beginning. But I'm sure that new characters will be introduced later on in the future. And if the gamer community will give it a try, I'm sure that this game will be so much bigger in the upcoming months or even years.
As I was telling you yesterday, Chris, as this concept of multiversus, thinking about the cinematographic world reminds me of Steven Spielberg, one of Steven Spielberg's last movies, Ready Player One. That movie so much, it was 3 hours long, so it's quite a big endeavor, but it's worth it. It's worth it because there is also this blending between all the pop cultures, between the 80s, the 90s, and the first even the first 2000s. So a geek would really appreciate that movie.
Yeah, and I think maybe a couple of months ago I saw there was also a new novel in the bookstore that is called, if I'm not mistaken, Ready Player 2. Have you?
Really?
Yeah, so basically there is a sequel. So I don't know if they are working on a brand new movie based on the new novel, but if you enjoyed, the movie, I would totally recommend you to keep going with the story throughout the new book.
Sure. Right now, I'm going to check out if there's a new movie coming out about the saga of Ready Player.
Yeah, many things to watch or to read or games to play. It's really difficult to catch up with everything. Even though like the temptation is kinda, just to browse on Disney Plus or Netflix and kind of watch everything. But in the past, maybe the problem was the lack of contents, for example, in the 90s or, in general when we were kids. But now I would say it's the opposite. There is even too many.
Yes, too many. It's difficult to focus on just one thing. Our attention is like enlarged through many different products.
In the time of, DVDs, box, or even before that, VHS, even if I was not so into the new movie or the new series, I was kinda I wouldn't say forced, but I wanted to watch everything because that was pretty much the only new items available. While nowadays I'm more focusing on something that I really like from the very beginning. So, it's very unlikely to endure throughout many episodes, even if, especially if I didn't feel a big appealing from the pilot.
Yeah, that's right. And in the past, there was such a smaller chance to get, a spoiler just by roaming on the net or talking to a friend. So right now, it's very easy to, open a website page and get a spoiler, or open Facebook, Instagram, and get a spoiler out of a sudden. So be really careful and trade really lightly in order not to get all spoiled.
Yeah, or even if you watch the trailer, sometimes you can get a pretty clear picture of the entire movie.
Yes, that's right too.
So be careful on those as well. But as you were saying, one of the most exciting things to look forward about the fall and winter season is, of course, the big amount of new contents that will be out. Of course, at least here in Europe and in the US or North America in general, the weather usually is not so great. It's most likely to be inside and spending time watching new contents.
Yes, that's right, Chris. Yes. Also, referring to this concept of multiversus, which you said, we can really say that we are living in a multiversus, and this is reflected in the world of entertainment, also in all the digital world as a whole, and so we can say that we live in a post-modern society where everything is so subjective that also the notions of time and space can be, turned upside down.
Yeah, so basically, I'm sure that it's kind of a new phase into this digital era, and what we are living now, it's just the beginning. I'm sure that in 10 years from now, or even 20 years, our daily life will be different in a very significant way compared to now. So,
Totally.
I couldn't even imagine, for example, the technology inside the smartphones, or nowadays PCs 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course. Just reminding of the launching of the first Macintosh, or the other products in the past.
Yeah, we were not around at the time of the first
not
Macintosh.
around, but since that, everything has changed deeply, and so fast.
To have friends from all over the world, and also even this podcast or a live stream is possible thanks to the most recent technologies that just 10 years ago, even having a video chat was not so straightforward as today.
Yes, that's right. And guys, if you think that we are talking a little bit as a boomer, it's because me and Chris belong to not the newest generation, let's say so.
Yeah, but even not to the oldest.
Not the oldest. But it's okay like this, and
Many times in our channels we are talking in a nostalgic ways about the past, and especially the 90s. So I'm sure that many of our listeners can relate to that, especially if they are around our age, in their 30s.
Yeah, totally. And we would be glad if they would show up and, write something or comment, or, share this nostalgic party.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between the excitement for what technology has to offer, and at the same time a bit of nostalgic with, our school years.
Yeah, yes.
So Jack, this time was a little bit an experiment, this live recording. We've never done something like that. And guys, if you are a long time listener, you even remember that the very first, I would say around 10 episodes were kinda scripted. We've made a long way from the script model to, the flow of the live streaming.
Yeah, quite a long way, and I really remember well the those first episodes scripted. It was
Yeah, but
even, yes, I felt even the emotion writing the script, so completely a new level of front performance.
so if you are new and you just want to have some kind of background with us and our channels, you're welcome to check out our latest episodes as well as older ones. Most likely there is something for you to enjoy.
You can also find, of course, on the social platforms, Twitter and Instagram at Chris_OCD_Geeks and
Is
Jack_OCD_Geeks.
You're welcome to send us your comments, ideas, and are doing this for us because it's kind of our passion to be podcaster and streamer now, I guess. But at the same time, we are doing this for you as well. So you are an active part of the community, and your ideas and comments, even for future episodes, are more than welcome. This was the first time to record something live, participation from our listener, so you can shape the new episode throughout your comments in the Twitch chat.
I think you've said it all correctly, Chris, and we can close even for today.